Hey guys, welcome back to Critical Flick. Today we're going to be talking about Marriage Story.
So this film is from Netflix, and we were lucky enough to see it at the Virginia Film Festival in Charlottesville a couple weeks early, and I have to say, I think it's one of the best films of the year.
Yeah, the acting in this one is pretty incredible, especially from Adam Driver. He's definitely in the rankings for this award season, I feel.
Yeah, I think there's no way he does not get nominated for Best Supporting. I feel like he'll probably go up for Supporting, maybe Lead. I think he was definitely the best performance I've seen this year. And this movie is revolving around a married couple that's going through a divorce. You're seeing how their lives are changing and molding and falling apart because of this situation.
Scarlett Johansson's character, Nicole, is trying to figure out who she wants to be. They got married at a young age, and that is basically like the premise of why they, start falling apart in the relationship. And it'd be the whole movie summarizing them trying to find themselves through divorce.
Yeah, this story is showing how people can grow as a couple as they go apart. It's a really interesting concept, seeing these two really discover who they are and what they mean to one another in their most vulnerable states. I think the writing of this movie is actually really excellent, the way they're able to capture these very human and raw emotions that most people wouldn't see in a normal day-to-day.
There's also unexpected comedy throughout this movie. I thought this movie was going to be very emotional, which it was, but also slightly depressing just on the divorce topic. But the comedy in each scene, I feel like it made the movie, it made them more human, and that sometimes through life you have to have comedy.
Yeah, that's the thing, is when you first see this story and you see it on his face, you think it's going to be an extremely heavy, long slog of a movie, and you're really going to struggle going through these really vulnerable times of these people. But then you see their personality shine through. You see why they fell in love, why they loved each other at one point in time, and seeing these flashes of very passionate moments between one another, I just think it was so well done and so well acted.
And another cool thing I thought about the film, how it was like directed, it felt like it was somewhat like a play where each scene would go to black and then we'd go to the following scene, and it had that play aspect to me.
Yeah, and Adam Driver's character Charlie is actually a play director, a playwright, and having that kind of theatrical element to the characters worked really well. They're both in, the theater business, so they have a flair for the dramatic, a flair for the ridiculous, so that shines through in their characters without seeming too cheesy or inauthentic.
Like I said in the beginning, this movie is emotional, and you can see that through both their performances, Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson. The emotion that you see through their faces, the love they have for one another, just brings out the greatness.
Yeah, you have Adam Driver as a father who absolutely loves his son, but he absolutely loves his work, and he found his wife through his work, and he lives to be in the theater. He lives for this. It's what's most important to him personally, and him trying to balance what is important to him personally and what is important to him as a family member is one of the most interesting themes in this story. The balance between passion and family and where those two meet. There's also the cinematography in this film is really well done. They really use the opportunities to focus on the facial features and the emotions and the ramping up of the arguments in this film. There's a very, very, very powerful scene between Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver when they're just going at it. They're fighting, they're arguing. It is the most intense argument and the most realistic argument I think I've seen between a married couple who's going through a lot. And it zooms in on them, it gets closer and closer to their faces. You see this intensity, and it just captures it in such a realistic way. I was really impressed with how they didn't go for too many ridiculous shots. They really focus on what is important in this film, and it's the acting and it's the emotion.
So I'd give this movie a 9 out of 10. This movie really impressed me. The acting from Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson, the acting is just really well done in this movie. I love the story of their relationship, and it, like I said, it really surprised me. I had very low expectations, and I'm really impressed that this is a Netflix film, and I can see all this award buzz around it, and I'm really excited for that.
So if I were to rate this movie, I would actually give it a perfect score. I give it a 10 out of 10. I think it may be my favorite film of the year. I just think the realistic emotion and the realistic take on a fairly simplistic story and seeing these people's intricate and personal lives shown out in a story that felt like something you could just really tangibly latch onto. And like Noelle said, the performances were probably the best I've seen this year. Just really blew me away. And like she said, being a Netflix film, this is my favorite Netflix movie. I haven't seen The Irishman yet, but this has been my favorite Netflix movie. Just really knocked it out of the park.
So this sums up our review of Marriage Story. Let us know in the comments down below what you think when it comes out to Netflix. Are you excited to see these performances? And always remember to like and subscribe. We always appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.